So wow, issue 66, adding another part to the lower right leg. It's getting exciting now. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, so let's have a look at the parts for issue 66. And I do apologise, I said in an earlier video we won't be needing the actual main model in the next few issues. We will be needing it in this one, but that's fine. So let's have a look at the parts. We've got part 1, the cap for the lower leg part. There we go. Piece number 2 is the lower leg part, and this is plastic, as is this piece. I think we've seen something similar to that. Well, we've seen lots of similar things to this, haven't we, throughout the build. Piece number 3 is the cap for the lower leg part. So this is also called a cap for the lower leg part, but this is a different cap for the lower leg part. So parts 4 and 5 are on a sprue, and these are the detail for the leg casing, inner and outer. So these look the same, but mirror image of each other. Again, plastic. Piece 6, sorry, is another screw housing. So we've seen these before. And then that leaves us with piece 7, which is the 2 M3 spring washers. And then we have 2 sorts of screws, and I think we can identify those without knowing what they are. We've got 2 PM3 by 12 mils, which are these big fat ones, and then we've got 2 KM2 by 16 mil screws. So we're only going to need 2 screws, but as you know, we get 1 spare from each one. We will also need super glue and a cocktail stick, screwdriver, the model assembly, tweezers, and a small craft knife. Although I'm actually going to be using my, whoops, sorry, just knocked the light. So I'm going to be using my trimmers and a small file for when we cut these pieces off, but equally a knife will be fine. So the first thing we need to do then is to get piece number 1, piece number 2, and piece number 3. And as you can see, we can't put these on the wrong way round, because this has a smaller end one end than the other. So this will go on like that, and this will go on like that. Now I am not going to glue this on, A, because it tells us not to glue it on, but also I believe we have done the Partwork Upgrades mod, and I've got a feeling this is where the second mod is going to come into play. So we will need to remove this part at a later stage. I think, yeah. So we'll need to, I think we'll need to remove this smaller one in order to, no, we need to remove this one, sorry, in order to get the upgrade in. But don't worry about that, I will cover that in a separate video when the time comes. So second thing we want to do is we want to get our screwdriver ready for this. So let's have a look. We will need the piece number 6, which is the screw housing, and we will need the KM2 by 16 mil screw, and that will go in there like so. And we need to attach that here. And if you remember last time, I was actually, rather than screwing the screw onto this, we can screw this onto the screw. Do you know what, sorry, I've done that wrong. So yeah, we need to place the screw into there. So ignore what I've just said. So the screw goes into there, and then we take the part from the previous issue, and what we'll need to do is fit the screw and the housing into the remaining outer socket, which is this one there, not this middle one, this one there, and that will go into place like so. You see it go into there and we will bring this piece in, and then we can meet that together, and we'll just get that started off by screwing this onto the screw, and you see that's now on nice. And then we will get our screwdriver, and now we can finish that off by holding this and then just screwing the screw in. If you remember, this screws and screws and screws, and you think it's not actually meeting, and it actually isn't, because I've got the wrong screw head. There we go. Let's change our screwdriver head. This is another. Right. Sorry guys. Still, at least I don't edit my mistakes. Right, so there we go. Now be careful, you will need to hold the cap. So there we go. So that's in place there. Like I say, I think this is where the mod's going to come in. So by doing it, not gluing it in, so it doesn't tell us to glue this in, but as you see, we'll still be able to remove that if we need to. It won't fall off by itself, because there will be a piston coming into there, and that will be fine. So yeah, that's step 5 done. Fix and placing with a fine screwdriver if necessary to help with the fit. Temporarily loosen the PM screw fitted in stage 11 in the previous stage, which I haven't needed to do. So the only thing I'm a little bit worried about, no, there is a lot of play in these, but I think we need that play, because remember, this has got to move. So next stage is that we need to remove, it just tells us to remove piece number 5 to start with, which is this one. So we will do that, and I'm just going to trim this off, and if you feel necessary, just file that bit off there. These trimmers are very, very good, so that it does cut all the way to the edge, so there's no filing necessary there. And then once we've done that, we actually need to remove this one as well. So, and I'm okay with cutting both of these off, because these are different pieces. So we're going to do our test fit first. Now this one is going to go into there like so, and you know which way round they go, because you can't fit it into the wrong space. So you see you've got 2 little notches there, 2 little like small pegs, and that's going to fit into there like so, and they kind of go in at an angle. You don't push them down the way that the pegs are located. Don't know if you can see, they're more catchers than pegs, so we will have to be careful how we glue this on. So I've done a test fit on this one, I haven't done a test fit on this one. So let's just check this one fits. That's the wrong one. There we go. And that one is fine. So let's get our glue. I'm using Gorilla Super Glue Gel. You use the super glue of your choice. And we'll just put a little small blob on there. And in this particular case, I will be using the cocktail stick method, because I'm going to need that accuracy for the pegs. Like so. Don't worry about if you get too much on, because it will all be hidden, but obviously we want to try and get as little glue on as we can. There we go, and I'll just push that down a bit. And obviously when I'm noticing that as I'm touching these pieces, I am getting a bit of grease marks on them. That's just normal when you touch stuff, so be careful. Try not to handle it too much, and just give it a polish with a nice soft cloth afterwards, just to get the grease off. And a bit of glue in there, bit of glue in there, and try not to drop your part on the floor. And that goes in like so. Remember, the pegs, they're more hooks, so I'm trying to get it in a little bit too high and then bring it down, and then that's your completed part there. There we go, that's on. So right, we can pop this glue to one side. So once we're happy that that fit is in place, that's in nice, and that's in. Well, I'm just testing it just by pushing it upwards, and it's not coming out. The next stage that we want to be doing is we need to be taking this spring washer, and we need to take a PM 3x12mm screw, and we're just going to pop that spring washer in. What that spring washer is going to enable us to do is just tighten that a little bit tighter, and it will stay put. And the easiest way I think of doing this, you're going to need a longer screwdriver, because where we're actually aiming for is this hole there in the middle. Don't know if you can see that, and the screws actually, now this screw will make it in there no problems, but it's going to be far easier to use a longer screwdriver. Now my screwdriver happens to extend, and that will make life so much easier for me. If you don't have a screwdriver that extends, then you need to find a longer screwdriver. This is a nice long screwdriver that I've got there, but some of these screwdrivers that come with the part works, I really don't think it's going to be up for the job. You could do it, but it's just, you can see it's going to be quite difficult. So you will need a longer screwdriver. Now the easiest way, rather than bringing the screw to this, I've got a magnetized screwdriver, but as you will see, it's not going to hold because of that washer. So it's going to be far easier if we keep the screw upright like so, and bring the part onto the screw. And the way I'm going to do is that just open this up as much as I can, and then we'll just bring that. See, it's still difficult even doing it that way. Let me try and see if a different screw head will work better. You know, I think that might be a better screw head. Yeah, that's a much better one. So it's difficult to do this on camera and in a comfortable position. Not making an excuse, but so in fact it might even be easy if we take this off altogether. I think it might be. So maybe we shouldn't have thought about it. Yeah, look at that. Look how much room I've just given myself. So I'll bring that screw into there. So there it is poking out there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring that screw onto this point there, like so. And once we've got a few screws, a few turns, you see it's on there now. So I'm just going to continue screwing. And I have got this in the incorrect orientation compared to the magazine. That's really not going to be a problem, because the correct orientation is there. So you've got this shin there, and the way that we want to do this, you can't hear the click, but you can feel it, and that is a nice solid. It's going to hold in whatever position you leave it in, but at the same time it's loose enough that you can actually turn it. So I'm happy with that, so I'm going to pop this bit back on. There we go, just like that, and leave it like that. And that is now actually the stage complete, and this is looking fabulous now. It really is. So we've got pretty much the whole leg done now, and then we're just ready for the ankle and the foot. So absolutely fantastic, absolutely loving this now. And then of course once we've finished all the way down to the leg, we've then got to do the other arm and the other leg, and then it will look even better. So yeah, that's it. Stage 66 complete. Very, very happy with the results so far. And then in the next issue, we will be adding another part to the lower right leg, and it actually looks like it's going to be part of the ankle. So I hope you do join me in that issue. I'll certainly be glad to have you along. So take care guys for this issue, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye.